My name's Erik. It's a pleasure to be here, to be your third Erik presenting today. So it is a joy. Thank you very much. I am the owner of Hatch Realty. I was called president by Erik Piella. I've never used that title before, but I'm going to from now on, so I appreciate that, Erik. In a former life, before I ever got involved into real estate, I worked with youth, and I worked with youth at a local church for about 10 years. And in that time, I learned one thing that was a primary function and a foundational piece to communicating in general, and that is it's more important to be engaged than to be engaging. Let me say that again. It's more important to be engaged than it is to be engaging, because I think that a lot of us here today, and especially I have in my own business world, tried to figure out how I can be really engaging. And instead, if you're actively engaged, it seems as though people will enjoy being in your presence. They'll love somebody who's a cheerleader for them. And if you come at it from a point of contribution instead of how can this person help me close another deal, I think it's a transformative piece in your business. At least it has been for me. I want to talk about two things today. One is taking social media offline, but the first I want to talk about is, of course, social media. Social media for me has been a really important thing, and I've used it almost in an absurd sort of way. I tweet every once in a while. I'm on Instagram because my wife tells me I have to be, but mostly I'm on Facebook. And Facebook has taught me a number of lessons throughout the years. I'm proudly a father for the first time. I have a 10-and-a-half-month-old daughter, and wow, do people like baby photos. In addition, I haven't posted it yet, but my daughter took her first step yesterday, and I did not capture it on video, but I did get right afterwards when she tried to take another step and fell. And so anytime you can put something out there that I think is engaging, it's of course of value. But the point I made previously is even more important, is to be engaged, because those of you that like, comment, or even more importantly, when you run into somebody in the shopping malls, or if you do and have the opportunity to connect with somebody, at that very moment, you're bringing Facebook or social media to real life. And that is the profound difference between being engaging and being engaged. I posted on Facebook about 6 years ago a post about bacon. And you'll find that in my life, I am a number of things. I am pretty sarcastic, I'm quite self-deprecating, and damn it, I love bacon. And so I think I'm the second person to swear. That felt really good. And yes, I used to work at a church, but it was Lutheran, so I'm forgiven, so we're okay. So I had this opportunity to post about bacon, and it was just becoming this fad, and it's this meaty, delicious, fatty, wonderful breakfast product that you can also have for lunch and dinner and snacks. And I posted one funny post about bacon simply because I stole it from somebody's wall. And I posted it, and it got like 15 shares, and it got like 300 likes, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that again. And so a couple days later, I post about bacon again. The same thing happened. And then all of a sudden, when people went offline with me and they would run into me at different events, they'd say, hey, that thing you posted about the bacon, that was hilarious. And I thought, this is really onto something here. That somehow I've branded myself as the bacon guy. No joke. 2 years ago for Christmas, I got 14 packs of bacon as presents from family members, from friends, people I didn't even ask for presents from. I didn't give them crap, and they brought me bacon. Somehow, some way, this delicious breakfast meat has become a cliche of a sort, or it's become a way for me to brand myself, to become more than just a realtor, or just a youth director, or just a husband, or just a father. It's given people a common ground that has nothing to do with real estate whatsoever. And for me, that's a huge aha, because if people can relate to me and say that's the bacon guy, truth be told is I want to be known as the real estate guy. And I want to be known as the passionate Christian. And I want to be known as the funny guy. And I want to be known as the caring, loving father and husband. And the only way that that really happens and that we let people into our worlds is with social media. We have to stop making our social media things all about business and all about politics and all about things that we complain about. And instead, social media should be a time to be engaging so that you can then be engaged, which is the second piece I'll talk about in just a moment. Now, if I can figure out how to be the real estate guy the same way I figured out how to be the bacon guy, you bet your bottom dollar that's what I'm going to figure out and invest in. And so for those of you out there who are the Bobcat gals or the Blue Cross Blue Shield gals, those aren't near as sexy as bacon. And yet the challenge remains, how do you make this an engaging, exciting thing for your consumers? And stop talking about your business is the best possible advice I can give you. Stop using social media, specifically your personal pages, but also your business pages, to serve as a place for you to simply talk about you. Instead, become the chamber of commerce for this area and celebrate people. When you see jobs well done and when you see people who are impactful, celebrate that on your page. Celebrate that on Instagram. Today's a great day to celebrate somebody like President Anne. What a great thing to have a woman up here who says, I am engaged, and she's also engaging. That's worth celebrating. And so my challenge to you first is to figure out how in the world you can take this whole social media platform and use it to celebrate other people. Zig Ziglar says that you can have everything you want in this world if you help enough other people get what they want. And that stays true to social media as well. That you can have everything you want in this world if you help enough other people get what they want. So the second piece I'll touch on very briefly here is to take social media offline. Use it as a connecting piece. Facebook is incredible because you never have to remember a birthday ever again. And yet, almost all of us post a generic happy birthday message on somebody's Facebook page when instead you should be getting off the computer and getting on the phone and bringing social media to real life. You should be engaged as much as you possibly can in somebody else's life. Call them the day before their birthday because Facebook tells you that. Call them the day after their birthday. Well, don't be that guy because then you look like a total lame-o. But be the one who calls before and say, I know it's your birthday this week. Can I take you out to lunch and celebrate? And if you come from contribution and if you are engaged, you will have everything you want in this business and everything you want in this life. Thank you.